Alright, secret Saturday stream, except it's not secret because I told people on the internet that I was going to be doing this yesterday. So yeah, Demigod. Why Demigod? Because I haven't beaten a Demigod in a while. Is that gonna butcher my win rate? Hopefully not. Demigod Brigand. Why Demigod Brigand? Because I wanna be trying Swords Dexterity. Maybe Gladiator would have been better, but I think I already played a Gladiator. Brigand does get good dexterity, however. Brigand starts with a rope? Why do they not start with leather? You've been trying the same thing recently and not having much luck? Literally same combo, Demigod Brigand? What compels you to do that? My idea here was I haven't played Demigod in a while, and I do enjoy Demigod. It can be pretty enjoyable at times. It has a rough early game, but it is really, really crazy once it gets going. Yeah, it is like Chevriados, except that you don't have the movement speed penalty beyond a certain point. So demigods in this game are just Chevriados offspring, I suppose. Yeah, their divine ascendancy is Chevriados. That is the secret, deepest lore of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Because otherwise they would show, divine traits from other gods, right? But all they get is Chevriados stats instead of anything interesting like Maklev demons or um, Uskayo paralysis, some stuff like that. I feel like there is definitely room for a demigod version or like a demigod rework that makes them just get random godly traits, passives or abilities from gods as they level up. Just as your demonic heritage asserts itself, as with the demon spawn, a demigod could get something like that. Um, your divine heritage reveals itself. Yeah, demigod, Cillian. That is what we are doing today. Demigod Brigand. And ideally, I would find a sword, and then I would do sword stuff. D2 Other. Doesn't really stand much of a chance. Demigod gets good HP. They get really bad level ups, like their experience aptitude is -2, if I remember correctly. Like they may be the ones that level up the slowest in the whole game. Yeah, -2, -2. Everything else is -1, 0, or +1 if they are especially blessed. Examples of +1: Kobold, Formicid, a human. No, human gets 0. Kobold, Formicid, and Jinn level up really fast. Yeah, so -2 is really, really slow. Demigods will most often not get to experience level 25 after a 3-run game, even if you kill everything. Wait, human not +1? No, human gets 0 on experience. I thought that they got +1. They level up fast like other things, but I guess they level up average like other things. Mm, yeah, they don't level up faster than other things. Two worms at the same time, a little bit complicated to deal with. One at a time, however, not that much of a problem. Changed in 0.32 to 0. Ah, I see. Final day before our freedom from Crawl, let us offer a prayer. Slow level of high mana HP aptitude. Yes, that's how it is. You can tell because I'm only getting into experience level 4 by D3. It is kind of rough. Any of these guys have swords? Nope, none of them have swords. This is getting pretty sketchy. This guy has a dagger of draining. I would like to make use of that myself. Alright, that was a little bit scary. But we receive an upgrade in the form of the dagger of draining. Not bad. I still have yet to find a sword of any kind, which is a shame because this character wants to be using swords. In fact, I'm training long blades instead of short blades. I think I'm just gonna train fighting instead because that will have an impact more than training long blades when I don't even have a long blade. You're surprised by how much easier it is to run from Ribbon Worm than it sounds? Sword from a white? Yes, ideally we find one earlier, but Sword from a White is part of the reason why I started this. I was thinking, how am I going to get like a scimitar or a greatsword? And then, like, yeah, they're rather common. I've been reading the Wormweb serial, great recommendation. That is nice. It was about time someone checked that out after my recommendation. Yeah, it would be nice to have some nets, but I don't have that. I don't really have anything to deal with the grinder. Hmm. Would be nice to have Holy Worth. Back in the day, there used to be a scroll of Holy Worth, and it was really good for dealing with early demons like this. However, that is not a thing that exists anymore. So it seems weirdly rare in early dungeon. Yeah, because few monsters carry them. Swords very rarely can have sword. Orcs very rarely can have swords. That's what I meant. Whites also have them. The floor has them. But oh yeah, Eustachio. But Eustachio has a rapier, which is it's a short blade, not a long blade. Come on, Eustachio is almost dead because I got a stab. We get a rapier. I'm gonna carry it because at the end of the day, I am going to need something to try to punch through armor class, even though, yeah, it's probably not gonna do me a lot of work, but it is at least better for stuff like this Phantom or Grinder earlier. Oh wow, it blinked me into that. That is quite nasty. This could be a serious problem. Somehow I didn't get poisoned. Somehow I'm still not poisoned. Okay, I got poisoned. Just Phantom things. Yeah, killing something like this with what I have is really rough. Does it regen? Okay, at least it doesn't regen. But the whole mispositioning me thing is quite nasty, very dangerous. Trans spawns with one, and you think Robin can get one? You think Robin? I haven't really noticed any special weapons that Robin may or may not have. She always has a helmet, that I know for sure. Nice. That was like 8 misses in a row, or more than that. No, it's actually way more than that. Let's actually count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This counts as a miss. 9, 10, 11. 11 misses in a row. Okay, and then I just destroy it. That's kind of what I was actually expecting. Temple, but we are a demigod, so no temple. Um, I don't remember if there is still a banner for winning with no god. Mm. But it would be nice if there was a banner for winning with no god, because that's most likely what we are going to be doing with this character. Oh, look at that. Falchion of Electrocution. You have that. That is pretty spooky. But that is my long blade. Yeah, I need to not die to this guy. Dying to this guy would suck. Let me actually paralyze it, because it is that scary. Needs one or two good rolls to kill me. There we go. Big lucky. Huge. Yeah, massive. Massive find. Actually gargantuan. Um, Falchions are fast, so Electrocution Brand on a Falchion is great. Mm, okay, can I go upstairs? Oof, that was rough. Insta confused. But at least I didn't die. Yeah, there's been a couple of really scary situations that I have been in, and it's only been D4. Lots of experience. Um, it's kind of crazy. It's going so well when it comes to experience, at least in this level, because the first three were kind of lacking in experience. But it's going so well in experience now that I could reasonably think about going back and fighting Grinder. Um, Crazy Youth with a +0 cloak. The only time that it's worth it to open that door is when Crazy Youth has a good cloak, and that is not what's happening today. Hello, cool guy dude. Thank you for stopping by. The 3 must be the one that has Grinder. Yeah, I feel like I beat Grinder with level 7, almost level 8. Um, yeah, there we go. That went very well. Unfortunately, I have no offensive ones other than paralysis, and I don't even have that many charges of that. But killing Grinder got me my level 8. This is a really bad letter. We're not even gonna bother with it. Yep, and you've even for a +0 cloak, but it may take a while to catch him not standing next to the door. It is pretty risky because Chaos Melee is quite volatile. By the way, we have 7 enchant armor. I think it makes good sense to enchant something if we happen to get something like, not even that. I think we have more. We have 8 enchant armors. 1 in a shop, 7 in the inventory. And we also re-identify 1, so that's 9 total that we have seen in the game. Things could get really scary here. I'm gonna circ. Because, oh, that's 3 priests, man. That's crazy. Yeah. Without the circ, I would be at critically low levels of HP now. Because that was a lot of damage. It was a pretty good circ. I was not expecting the 3rd priest, but fortunately there was no warrior or anything to follow up on the priests. Yeah, I felt like I could tap that ogre with 70 HP. And yeah, all right. That if I hadn't had that much experience early on, that D5 would have been pretty nasty. Um, So yeah, I like Falchion. Mindele is 14. I don't know if I'm actually gonna get all the way to 14, but it would be super worth it because Electrocution scales with attack speed and Falchion gets less than 0.7 Mindele. It gets 0.6 actually because it is a pretty it is like the starting weapon in its school. Oh wow, we found a great sword. Okay, so not only do we have that, but we also have an upgrade, like an immediate upgrade once the Falchion stops being exciting. I would of course like to use a shield, but I mean I'm not gonna say no to a greatsword when I am intending to go swords. The floor god happens to be quite generous so far, B6, and we already have weapons that could technically get me to the end game. I could win with an enchanted branded greatsword. But I'm gonna hold on to doing that. As I already said, I would prefer going for a shield, more dexterity. Um, at some point, maybe in level, do these guys get stats every 3 levels? Is When was the last time that I guess it doesn't appear here. I don't know if these guys get stats every 3 levels. If they do, that's kind of crazy. Oh wow, look at that, a scimitar as well. So yeah, not bad. We're gonna throw a net, throw Kirare, and then we just staff Maggie, and that gets the job done. We lose the net, we get Steam Scales. I'm gonna use those. Um, nice find. 4 stats every 3 experience levels. Yeah, that is pretty insane if you think about it. Like at the very beginning, it's not gonna be that. Like it's straight up nothing when you start, but you just need to get going a little bit, and it snowballs pretty hard. Like right now, I have 27 dexterity, and I have not found a single like dexterity enhancing item, so it is pretty crazy. Um, I think that my next step level up on 12 is gonna be strength, so I can wear slightly heavier armor because I don't want to be walking around on super light armor. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be a dexterity strength character, I suppose. Not really an intelligence spellcaster because I want to end this rather quickly. Um, I'm going to stream tomorrow as well. I'm gonna start around 4.5 hours before the tournament ends. See if I can get another win. Um, I'm not gonna try anything too fancy because I don't want to butcher my win rate. It's like the only thing that I have going for this tournament. I have a little bit more wins than losses, which is nice. What's my favorite stat to dump as Demigod? Dexterity, really. It is what I am doing at the moment. Um, oh wow, +3 longsword of freezing. Yeah, we are getting all the swords with this character, all of them. It is crazy. Where exactly are we getting all the swords? I mean, I'm not gonna complain. It's pretty nice. We can probably toss the scimitar. Sword. And there it is. But I'm gonna stick to the falchion because the falchion is pretty great. At some point I'll use the longsword or maybe the greatsword. Maybe I'll just skip to the greatsword. We got a cloak of preservation of the floor. I'm just gonna enchant that to +2 already because I am almost certain that I am going to stick with that for a significant amount of the game, if not the whole game. Yeah, unless I find an artifact. But since I have so many scrolls, I might as well put them to use. You know, get some value out of them. Little teeny tiny bit of value. I don't want to abuse it as anyway, but I do want to get a little bit of advantage from the scrolls. It's a shame that you cannot just remove them and use them on something else once you have already used them. Huge intelligence sounds fun too. Yeah, it is powerful. Um, but you run into the problem of having low mana because Demigod has high mana. Um, ooh, shields. Okay, I hope that I find a good shield and a good sword. Dodging is also gonna be great. Wow, that's pretty nice. I hope I find acquirement for money. Would be quite convenient. All right. Oh, brand weapon as well. So I get to brand the greatsword? Man. If the scrolls of enchant armor that I had were enchant weapon, I could maybe just pull the trigger on the greatsword, depending on what I would get um from the branding. But we have enchant armor, which yeah, we're gonna have to wait a little bit more to actually make use of that. Morris, the Bind Stalker with Ice Blast, short sword of venom as well. That's kind of spooky. Unfortunately, we weren't able to kill the Brigand, and now the Brigand wants to throw poison at me, and I don't have poison resistance. Okay, we have Beam 1, so we're gonna go for a Beam 1, see if we can kill the Brigand. We do kill 3 Kobolds, and then I'm going to make my way upstairs to, yeah, reposition, because that situation wasn't immediately dangerous, but I kind of saw the writing on the wall when Morris appeared. At that point, I knew that if I didn't reposition, regen my stuff, I was probably gonna die. How high do I expect my dexterity to be at the end of the game? Might hit 40, depending on if I find dexterity gear or not. I know that I won't put that many stat level ups on strength, maybe 1 or 2 at most, and the rest is gonna go to dexterity. So yeah, we're gonna have big dexterity, and with big dexterity comes big evasion, because of course we're also going to be training dodging. I'm looking forward to getting the money to buy the manual, and then we train dodging, and we're going to have big survivability with this character thanks to that manual. I just have to, not die in the process of getting there. Um, Somehow we have gotten a lot of experience. Like, we're almost at min delay for the Falchion. I think it's just because I am powerful enough to kill everything that I see, and I have seen some pretty loaded things. Morris used to be in this level, right? Have I already killed Morris? No, right? Because I don't have the wand in the inventory, so I have not killed Morris. Those bees are scary. It's why you were interested in it, since evasion skills with dodge dexterity, so it should get pretty crazy. That's exactly how it is, and that is the plan of this character. The thing is that it is a little bit difficult because the start is rough, and the mid game can also be a little bit rough if you don't get like good gear. Um, since you don't get like the aid of a god, right? You don't really get that power spike from the mid game where you hit 6 pips of bite and you have access to everything that your god can offer you as a way to avoid death. You don't really have anything like that. This guy has a buckler. That could be a start when it comes to shields. You have a net. I want your net. Okay, throws the net and misses. That's huge. If it had hit, it would have been a little bit sad. All right, nice, nice. I have to say that I was really spooked out when the sergeant was hitting me that hard. Oh, Woodcutter Sax. This thing is pretty funny. It does a good amount of damage, but its attack delay is always fixed at 1.0. Yeah, this weapon's minimum attack delay 1.0 is reached at skill level 0. Of course, we're not doing access stuff. I guess that I can just carry it as a trophy. But like we're not using that, and I don't really want to fight all of those things at the same time. That would be pretty bad. In fact, this level is so open and so full of bands that I'm just gonna skip it. I can do that. Um, oh, the Hornet is gonna be nasty. Yeah. Okay, I can kill the Jacks, but if the Hornet does that, yeah, then we are in trouble. Beer? Okay, fortunately the slow didn't last for very long. I need a corridor. Does this level have corridors? Here we go. Okay, with this corridor we can kill things. It is a lot safer for me to be killing things in the corridor. We got min delay on the Falchion and also min delay on the Scimitar because for some reason Falchion and Scimitar hit min delay at the same skill level. Um, Also long swords. It's long blades has 3 items that hit min delay at exactly the same level of skill for some reason. You know what? I'm gonna net this to Headlogger. Just play it safe. File of lots. It is obscenely expensive, but it might happen. I'm gonna buy the scrolls, of course. I think that it is always a great idea to buy and identify scrolls from shops. Let me check. I was thinking it maybe could be acquirement. Um, Not acquirement. We got noise and poison from the shop. It's fine. I don't think I have gone Gosag this tournament. Maybe tomorrow I play a Gosag character. Demon Blades 2, so 4 items at 14. Yeah, it seems that all of the one-handers get min delay at 14. Well, not all, because there is double swords. Those get min delay at 16. By the way, I would be very happy to find the double swords, since shields also scale with dexterity. They kinda get less penalties if you get strength, but they have bigger shield stat if you get dexterity. So it is gonna be like probably a nice build for this demigod. Just sword plus shield, big dexterity, and a little bit of strength, so I'm not too penalized by my armor and by my shield. And ideally, we would have huge defenses, courtesy of my huge demigod stats. I should probably do the previous level. Yeah, we have this corridor, and I already did D10, which also seemed to be very open, so I feel like we can do this. Okay, that guy has Halberd and a Wanda Mind Burst. That is some nice loadout for that guy. Wanda Acid again. I don't want to get Mind Bursted. And yeah, we killed the Null with the Polearm and the Mind Burst. So now we're fine. Or at least that's what I would like to believe. I very rarely use Circs, but this time I feel like it's been the correct thing to do. Um, I'm really looking forward to finding acquirement or something. Maybe I should just read these scrolls, try to find acquirement. The thing is that I have not found blinking, and I like if I use my only blinking, I would be mildly sad. So yeah, we're not really trying to do any stealthy, stabby things with this character, in case it wasn't already obvious enough. We're just pressing tab, and tab should hopefully get us the win, as long as I don't make too many mistakes and tab things in situations where I shouldn't be tabbing them. Oh wow, this guy has paralysis. Yeah, that could be a problem. 29% chance. I'm gonna drink a potion at 3 just to play it safe. Yeah, in I drank 3 because if I got paralyzed, I was not going to dodge anything anyway, and I might as well give myself more HP and more armor class. Fortunately, it didn't happen, so we are still going. And that is a lot of charges of paralysis. We have definitely pretty good incentive to train this to like 12. As I say, if you get big charges of ones or big evocables, which like one of those already happened for this character, that is an indicator to go for evocations early when you're actually gonna get value from them. The thing is that I would also like to get some value from my 27 dexterity by training a little bit of dodging. I'm just gonna read scrolls. Okay, Fogu, Revelation, Magic Mapping, and Blinking, of course. I kinda knew it was coming, but it's fine. I have two brand weapons, but I don't need to use them immediately. Um, I am tempted to use one on the greatsword, but I'm not like I don't need to do it. Crawl encourages fear of open spaces, absolutely. Open spaces can be quite deadly in this game. Another two-headed ogre. Of course, it wakes up the moment I step next to it. Just crawl things. Okay, we lose the net. We don't lose the curare. That's fine. We still have two nets. And nets are like the purpose of nets is to deal with two-headed ogres pretty much because they are pretty damaging and pretty vulnerable to those since they have low evasion. Another sword, by the way. Okay, excuse me. We're gonna use another net because the same things that apply to the two-headed ogre should apply to the Cyclops. We lose the net, man. Okay, I guess that's fine. We still have one. And now with this one net that I have, I'm gonna have to be extra picky where I use it. Like I would like to save it for a Minotaur or something if we get a gauntlet. Pyromancer, please don't do any nasty things. Okay, didn't do anything bad. Jax. Crawl encourages fear of toes. Yeah, cursed toes are pretty strong. Pretty strong, pretty dangerous things. Fortunately, they're pretty rare and they're almost never accompanied by anything. Oh boy. Okay, 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 okay. I see the message loud and clear. We're going elsewhere. Yeah, you see a skeletal warrior, you go away from the skeletal warrior. But if you see a boulder beetle, you throw poison at it. Beautiful, because they're weak to poison. We found Scroll of Torment. Okay, time for Lure. Now, Lure is gonna be kind of annoying because bladed weapon, right? So, yeah, time to train evocations. I'm just gonna turn off fighting for a while. We are gonna need evocations for Hydras specifically because I would like to believe that I can melee most things here as long as I do it carefully 1v1 because at the end of the day I don't have great defenses yet. But Hydras I need to use consumables against, and it's fine because at least we have a good stack of paralysis. We cannot use that versus the Hydra, but it does mean that I at least will have something for other monsters after I run out of acid and mind burst and ice blast, because those are the ones that are gonna be kind of okay versus Hydras. I have a freezing weapon too, so it shouldn't be that bad. The freezing weapon does slow the Hydra, but it still gives it extra hits, unfortunately. Um, I also have another option, which is using a short blade, but because a short blade is not gonna give the Hydra extra hits. I don't think any short blades have that property. None of them are big enough for that. But yeah, I don't know. Yep. Okay. Okay, that's pretty bad. Hmm. Reform once again gets the job done. I would like to believe. Yeah, reform gets the job done. Kind of stressful that I have yet to find heal wounds. My next identifies should go straight for that, and I should read identify scrolls because at this point there is no point in read identifying or like using identify on scrolls. I don't think it makes sense anymore because I already identified blink, and we found a volcano. At least I have fire resistance, but I don't have magic mapping. I have only found one, and I found an Hydra. Delightful. Um, Why no globes? Because I didn't put them on. No, I did put them on. If you didn't see me pick them up, it's because my RC file has has a script that automatically picks up that kind of thing. It is quite convenient. Let me check how bad Mind Burst is. 50%. Yeah, we don't want to do that. I might as well take the 100% chance to deal damage to the Hydra, even if it's not a guarantee that I'll kill it. That is pretty neat. Yeah, RC file customization is super convenient. We get Snake, and I'm not ready to take on this. Like I cannot deal with that. So I saw the first one and I was like, nope, I'm out. And I read Tele, and the Tele still took a couple of actions to trigger. To be perfectly fair, my actions are really fast. It's pretty much I take 5 actions every 3 turns, so that's why it seemed like it took forever to teleport, but that's not really what happened. Dealing with a Komodo dragon at this level of HP is inconvenient. This guy appeared and the same turn it attacked me. That's super, super rough. Yeah, that's not gonna work. 45%. Mind burst, 68, please? No, no, no. Let's not play it so risky and just use Ice Blast. Yeah, I can probably kill the Rhyme Drake. Maybe I can paralyze it. There we go. Man, one of paralysis is such a good item. Strength, I said, so we can wear slightly heavier armor. 16 strength makes it so that we are now open to the realm of possibility of getting storm scales maybe in the late game. Or shadow scales or something along those lines without really butchering my evasion that much. So yeah, RC is very nice, but your unreasonable want to keep everything default needs convincing. Why? I really do not understand. It's not like you're modding the game or anything. Um, Funnily enough, you can do some really wacky things through RC file editing. Like people make bots that play the game by themselves through RC file editing. Said bots are not necessarily banned, but you have to ask the admin of the server if it's okay to run it, since they can do many actions very fast. It's kind of a DDoS if you don't configure them to not be that fast. So this Mark Trap was kind of inconvenient. And Shadow Scales really heavy. They are as heavy as a Storm Scales item. Shadow Scales. Base armor rating 11 and combat rating 15. They're not really heavy. They are okay. They're heavy, but they're not really heavy. Yeah, they're not light either. Of course, I would rather have some kind of body armor that actually gives me a resistance. I am of the idea that resistances are somewhat important thing to have from your body armor. This is getting a little bit spooky. I'm just gonna use a scroll summoning for convenience. I don't want to have any bad things happen with those snake denizens that somehow made their way into here. Unfortunately, the scroll summoning gave me some elephants, and they win me this fight pretty convincingly. Yeah, I can probably kill everything else here. More wolves. No problem. How heavy is gold scales or plate? Plate is 18, and gold scales are 24. Gold scales are actually really heavy. 23. Well, I mean, almost 24. Same as crystal plate, 23. I would like to find that volcano. I don't know what it is. I wish I had magic mapping. So, Shadow's case are only 3 less than plate? Yes. Also, chainmail is like the same. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, it said nearby, but I missed it. It is right there. I could blink in if I had a blinking. Yeah, I'm not gonna get to it. I think if you can see it, it shouldn't disappear. Uh-huh. There's a deep roar from within the tunnel. Moments later, a river of lava pours forth, sealing it permanently. Rare message. Very, very, very rare message. Wiki says that a different formula is used based on if your strength is higher than the encumbrance value. Yeah, it's something like that. Something like that. I like having higher than encumbrance value. I think that it is very noticeable if it's not higher than the encumbrance value. It still will weigh me down, but it won't be as drastic as if I was wearing it with such low strength. 15 and 18 are very different to 16. You had a gun close exact turn, you stepped on the gate. Yeah, I figured that something like that was gonna happen to me this time. But instead of that, I got to see it close from a couple of tiles away. You know, this is a pretty nasty Lair 3. This might be really, really, really rough. To the point where, like, if I had Haste Might, I would probably Haste Might to deal with these things. But unfortunately, we don't have access to that. Man, I'm chased by things that are faster than I am. All right, somehow that actually wasn't so terrible. Yeah, must have been because they barely did any damage when they were chasing after me. Yeah. Oh, the throwing net barely misses the death yak. That is not good. It gets an attack of opportunity on me? That is insane. Why did you get that? You're slow. Why can monsters that are slow get attacks of opportunity? That is not okay. I don't even want to walk away from it anymore because it's gonna get an attack of opportunity on me and kill me. These guys have huge willpower, Death Yaks. Wow, man, this is rough. Tengu reasons. Yeah, I think that the Death Yak band is beyond our current capabilities. I don't think there's very good way to deal with the current situation. Yeah, this is a really messed up situation. The whole thing about it getting an attack of opportunity on me while it was slowed is messed up. Like, I didn't think that that was possible. I was under the impression that if a monster is slower than you are, it doesn't get attacks of opportunity on you. But this guy did. It's weird that slower monsters that you got to get attacks of opportunity only in 0.2031. Slower monsters that you got to get attacks of opportunity. Slower monsters than you got to get attacks of opportunity only in 0.31. Okay. Yeah, why was that changed? That makes no sense. It's actually nonsensical. And it also removes the very little counterplay that attacks of opportunity had. Like now it feels like you're extra host when you have a monster in melee. Like at least earlier you could slow the monster and walk away, which is precisely what I tried to do this time. But lo and behold, that is a change for some reason. Completely unnecessary change. It's a lot of Steam Dragons. I am glad that I have Steam Dragon scales because I'm immune to Steam, at least. And Steam is not that deadly, but it is pretty damaging if you have a bunch of Steam Dragons shooting at you. Even if they deal 10 damage total with how many of them there were, yeah, the damage would have stacked up pretty bad. Before 0.13 move speed was kind of an immunity to attacks of opportunity, and it was so nice. I think that using wands on Komodo dragons makes sense. Komodo dragons are pretty spooky. King toads as well, but I feel like they're a lot more manageable than Komodo dragons. Komodo dragons just hit super duper hard, and I don't really want to deal with that at the moment. Yeah, we cannot really just go in and tab a dead yak, unfortunately. If we had such a bad time with one death yak, dealing with a whole band is close to impossible at the moment. And yeah, I mean that's the limitation of how of like my defenses at the moment. And we're starting to see something that is not immediately obvious, but it is definitely a problem of Demigod. Everything being -1 means that it takes a while to train things. Somehow I got my long blades to 14 pretty fast, but it's been pretty rough since then. Like I wanted to train fighting to 12, and I had to stop at 11 to start training evocations, and now I wanted to train evocations to 12, but I might have to stop at 9 to train dodging, and I wonder what's gonna make me stop training dodging prematurely, because it's most likely gonna happen with the way things are going. That's just like the nature of the demigod, I guess. Um, yeah, normal jacks, I would like to believe that I can deal with them. Um, all right. Before the Tango Mini rework, it have 9 AOT movement. It felt really strong. At least this isn't Mommy. Mommy is pretty rough, but Mommy does get the benefit of a goth. Maybe next time I play Necromancer, I'm gonna play Mommy. Oh man, that's a lot of Dream Sheep. Yeah, I had to do it so I don't get put to sleep because it was too many of them. Oh man, one puts me to sleep. You know, the chances of one Dream Sheep alone putting you to sleep are super low. Fortunately, it happened in a situation where it was really not impactful at all. If there had been a Death Yak or something in the screen, it would have been horrendous, or a Komodo Dragon. Um, Monsters deal more damage to you when you're put to sleep or paralyzed or petrified. It is like monsters stab you just like you can stab monsters. It is pretty scary. You haven't played a BAM since food removal. You wonder how that works now. You have a mechanic that lets you go bloodless. Like you can switch between alive and bloodless, kind of at will. But like with talismans, for example, it takes a while to do. You also get drained a bit when you go to bloodless, and it takes a while to restore the drain once you go back to living. Yeah, the two forms have different upsides and downsides. Um, I think that people really like to do Bloodless Vampire for extended because it is just like a mummy. You don't get potions, but you're also immune to torment and that kind of thing. Yeah, but give it a try. I myself have not played that much of that. Um, but I have played it, and it's nice that I can have Komodo dragons now. Please? Okay, we get potions of willpower. That will be useful. I have the resistance, but I don't need to. I don't need to run in there. Do I have a port? I do have a port. Okay, we're gonna port these things. Let me see what else is in there. Does minor magic have blink? Yes, it does. Okay, that's huge. Probably gonna train for that. Talking about training for things. Okay, I'll just do it now. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. Oh man, but I'll do it because I think Blink is worth it that much. Like the earlier I get Blink the spell, the more consumables Blink the spell will save me. So yeah, that was kind of a big find for my character. Huge, huge find. Very happy to have found it. Hmm. Death Yaks. Is it? Am I ready for a round 2 versus a Death Yak? Probably not. Okay, maybe the first time it was just big variants that um, completely host me, and this time we are okay. But it's still Lure 5. Maybe I should just not do this and come back later. That is something that I have started to do in recent times, and I think it is a pretty okay strategy. Um, ouch. Okay, yeah, I'll come back for that later. We are gonna do learn. No, we're gonna do work. Yeah, we're gonna do work. There's no reason for me not to do this. Erolcha has a 29% chance to banish me. She has a Wand of Flame, but who even cares about that? That like of all the ones, that's the weakest one. So it's nice that she has a Wand of Flame. Enlightenment. No banishment for me. No banishment today. Unfortunately, I don't get to see how good I am at hexing her. Yeah, I would like to see the success rate for like paralysis at the moment. Nothing appears to happen. Okay, I didn't paralyze her. She's next to me. Yep. Okay, we kill Erolcha just by tabbing her. Not bad. Mm, okay, we are gonna get big money here, and big money means manual of dodging, which is gonna be huge. I really am looking forward to finding a double sword or a demon blade. If we find a double sword or a demon blade, this character will definitely like reach its absolute zenith, its peak, because that would mean I get to use a shield and a really strong one-hander. Um, which I mean, I have falchions and scimitars, but the falchion is to begin with like not even that strong. It is only being carried by the brand, and there will be a point very soon, in fact, where the brand is not gonna be enough. This is a problematic situation. Getting marked here is really scary. Yeah, this is not good. Also, some of these guys are mighty. Obsidian bat. Let me see again what it does. Bites for 21 and it summons things whenever it bites you. It has big defenses. Yeah, does it have resistance to electricity? Okay, it doesn't. But I should probably read Tele anyway, yeah. Okay, that's a book boutique. And also this seems to be the hardest ending where it's just open shops and big monsters like trolls and ogres. Maybe Cyclopes as well, but I don't even know if Cyclopes can generate here anymore. Um, yeah, if it's that ending, then we are in some serious trouble. I would like to believe that it is not that ending, and this is just like a random shop that generated on top of the ending, but there's no guarantee. If it is that ending, we are in trouble. Crawl just being crawl. Yeah, it seems like it is that ending. Antique weapon shop. We have the entrance to Elf. I don't have cancellation or anything. Getting marked there was super messed up. I think that I might have to go downstairs. I I hit an exploration trap mark, and now the mark is gonna last for even longer. I'm just gonna go into Elf, hope that it doesn't generate any portal bolts, and hope that it's not surrounded by enemies. No monsters that are awake as well. Ooh. And that guy is immune to electricity, right? Yeah, it is. Uh, I mean, it's must be weak to cold. It is weak to cold. Yeah, so we can maybe kill it with the longsword. Please. Oh, we one-shot it. How much HP does it have? 33. That was a pretty good hit then. We have Ambrosia. I'm just gonna use it. Let's play it safe in case any more monsters wish to come over here. Uh, Ambrosia duration must have been nerfed because it just doesn't last for long enough now, and it used to last for much longer and heal you for a lot more. Or maybe I'm getting super bad rolls, but it's happening pretty much all over the tournament. This game is so mean when watching me play. I mean, I feel like it is because in this kind of situation, like I feel like this kind of situation happens to everyone, but not everyone wishes to struggle to try to not die in these kind of situations, and they just like go next. Um, but I try to win because this game is supposed to be winnable in every run. Um, and I think that it is winnable in almost every run. But what also happens is that it also is immensely painful in most runs, not every run. So winnable every run, but like you're gonna have to work for it pretty much every run. Sometimes Sometimes you get wins handed to you, but not always. Also, yeah, I guess I don't have willpower. Would be nice to have some. Um, we have found two rings in the entirety of the game: a ring of wizardry and a ring of fire resistance. And it is pretty rough. It is pretty rough. Getting slowed by this guy, 38%. Yeah, I kind of want to drink a potion of enlightenment. I don't want to get confused. If I get confused here, I'm dead. And I might be dead anyway. Look at these guys. These guys are definitely not cooperating. Oh man, if I read tele here, I'm gonna die. What I should do is step here, read tele, and go upstairs. But I might be dead before then. I'm gonna try reading fear. Somehow that fears some, doesn't fear them all. I'm gonna try to paralyze this guy. 22 is not gonna happen. Mind Burst? 49 is not gonna happen. I don't have Explosion Wand. They have Repel Missiles, so Acid's not gonna work. We don't really have many tools to approach the situation that we found ourselves in, unfortunately. Um, I have Scroll of Summoning. I guess we can try that. These Zephyrmancers are gonna follow me upstairs. I'm probably dead. I would really, really, really like to have cancellation at the moment. We have 11 digging. I think that we need to dig a hole. And this is why I stopped playing Crawl for half a year. And I'll stop playing Crawl for half a year after we're done with this. Because this game is just too painful. Like, this is not healthy. Submitting yourself to these kind of situations on a daily basis is definitely not healthy. Yeah, I just don't want that experience in my life. How did this even start? Explore Teletrap? No, I was fighting here, and then one of these orcs stepped on a on a known trap. Like I knew it was there, but I just figured that maybe I could beat these guys, and I wanted to fight in a choke point, so I was fighting here. I also didn't go to this choke point precisely because of that trap. I felt like if I went all the way over here, I would be luring them into the trap. Maybe I should have done that because if they stepped on the trap, I could just reroute and just go upstairs, wait it out. Um, and then the work was hitting me pretty hard, and I at that point I felt like I needed to teleport. I teleported into a pretty bad spot, and then I teleported again into the elf entrance, and then the elf entrance. Well, that's how things have been going so far. Oh man. Could I have blinked? I could have blinked, but blink. I mean, where? The thing about blink is like, what is your plan after blinking? Why would you want to blink? In that position, blinking has a great chance to put me forward. Blinking is not controlled blink. Blink the spell is just like random, and there's some situations where random blink is the correct thing to do. It versus a monster that has a ranged attack, so it can hit you anywhere on the screen. Like a deep elf archer, blink effectively does nothing. So yeah, it just wouldn't have worked. Uh, I think I'm super dead. This thing has like no willpower. Somehow it has like no willpower. That's crazy. Okay, maybe I don't need to tele then. Funny thing, if you read another tele while you're teleing, it cancels the tele. Ah, it's so bad that it heals you for like no HP anymore. Why are they so nerfed? Like they're not even that common. Min turns again. In this case, I think it had something to do with being slowed because I was slowed. So it was like 3 turns, but still 3 turns of Ambrosia. Why is it healing me so little? It's just happened so consistently over the course of the tournament. And now I'm out of ways to heal. I'm not marked anymore, at least. 3 to 10 turns is the range. It's so shaky. Why does the game have to be this way? You know what? I was gonna kill the bat, but then I saw all of those guys, and I'm gonna tele after all. I get to go upstairs. We found an antique armor shop. We found a Randart kite shield. This could be a game-changing item. Come on. Man, why do I even bother checking Randarts? They're so bad so often nowadays. Another shop. Also, that puts me further from my goal of the manual. Yeah, my blink right now is at 10%, so it's not uncastable. And I think we got out of that one. Stop doing that. Okay, this guy surely can be paralyzed. Aha, there we go. Yeah, yeah. Think about your options. Because if I just try to tap things, very clearly that's not really gonna get the job done. Um, I feel like I need to paralyze everything. These are weak to hexes, and I happen to have crazy amounts of charges of paralysis, which way more useful than than charming would be. There's been some situations where I felt maybe in this situation it would be nice to have charming, but more often than not, paralysis is just way better. Um, because if your character is weak, you don't want to be fighting too many things at the same time, and the prerequisite for charming to be good or to be worth anything is that you're fighting more than one monster at the same time. Um, and I don't think that this character wants to ever be doing that, or like at least so far, because I am completely aware that this will in time become a really powerful character, but we need to get there in the first place. Acquirement, please. Silence, okay. That could have been a useful resource. And we go back to square one, now with significantly less consumables. At least we have blinking the scroll. We have one, um, so we will most likely be able to survive whatever ridiculous situation the game is about to put me in. It is pretty sad that we got this ending too, because this ending is really hard. It is not the kind of ending that I would like to see on a character like this. No monsters are like clumped together, and that makes it really difficult. I'm gonna buy this helmet. Yeah, that puts me once again further away from the manual. We were really close. We were at 910, and now we are at 796. But it's nothing that finding a couple of piles of gold here cannot fix. Yeah, I feel like the piles of gold that I need to be a little bit larger than 6 gold pieces. Okay, please be alone. I can beat you 1v1. Yeah, but I don't know if I can handle more monsters. Was there a glowing helmet in the shop? There was glowing scale mail and glowing plate. Um, yeah, scale mail and plate is what we got. And we don't care about those. I'm not wearing plate, and the scale mail is likely to be worse than what I have, and I don't need to spend money on that. It could be a minor power increase in a character that could maybe use that, but I feel like I feel like buying the manual would be a much higher power increase, a much better power increase for this character. Uh, oh, okay. Yeah, immediately goes to summon spam. Might as well try again. It's raining now. When I was young, I used to like rain, but now it causes me anxiety because Sometimes it floods here, and like I live on a first floor, but like my grandma's house and stuff gets flooded, so it's pretty bad when it floods. So now rain causes me anxiety because of that. I would like to go back to the moment in life where it didn't cause me anxiety, but yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. -1 in everything is pretty rough in this part of the game. Yep. It's taking a little bit to get going, but when it gets going, it's gonna get going. Oh wow. Elf goes for the lightning bolt, alerts everything. And yeah, that is super annoying. We cannot reach that guy and it hits hard. Um, Such an unfortunate side effect of my foray into Elf. A troll. I think that I can take on a troll. Yeah, we can tab a troll. 935. We are almost there. We are almost there. %37. I shouldn't try to paralyze it. It is not worth it. I'd rather save those charges for monsters like Orc Warriors or Knights. If it's a single warrior, there's no need to do that, but yeah, like for example, that Knight with the launcher. There's also a Warlord. I'm almost certain that I can hex it. Yeah, 55. There we go. And if it gets hexed, it gets killed. That is the power of Wand of Paralysis. And I insist, Wand of Paralysis is way, way more powerful and better than Wand of Charming. Wand of Charming doesn't insta kill things. Okay. I want my 12 evocations. I really do. I'm so stretched thin when it comes to things to do, you know, to things to train for. All right. Oh man. That guy was scary, and I think we brought up two of them. It's too early in the game for me to be dealing with this kind of thing. There was a shop that was super interesting. Like, we have already seen two shops, but I wanted to see this one. Unfortunately, well, you saw how that went, and I didn't have the time to check that shop. So I'm gonna try to make my way over there and see what it has. And hopefully I don't stumble upon the Warlord. I don't care about books with this character. Of course I do stumble upon the Warlord. I'm getting carried by my starting stealth because otherwise I would be having to fight everything. They would chase me relentlessly, and that could be a serious problem. Also, not that many monsters as I was expecting. I was expecting to see a lot of trolls and ogres, and maybe ogre mages, and it just hasn't happened. At least we can look at that and think of it as an upside. Okay, another one of these kobolds. You know what? I have Mind Burst. Mind Burst has a real good chance of dealing damage to them, and apparently it does enough damage to one shot. How much damage does Mind Burst do? 3 dice of 18. That's some real good damage. We found a shop. That is good, but we cannot access it. This is so sketchy. So sketchy. getting carried by this Elec Falchion. I took it off a Nork on D3. Without that, I don't know how this character would be going. Maybe I wouldn't even be alive anymore. Um, yeah, because we have found a couple of swords, but this is by far the best sword that I have found for, like, all things considered. You could say that the great sword is better, but it's unbranded and it requires more skill. This is cheap to use and pretty strong. Does it have blink far? No. Oh man, stop. Jeez. It's impossible for me to fight that. Yeah, I think I need to use once on the Zephyrmancer. Having it is not really gonna work. 80% chance to Mind Burst, and one Mind Burst fixes all of my problems. I have enough gold to buy the manual of dodging. Yes, yes, I will not care. And in fact, I will not care so much that I will come back to Orc later. Um, and I'm just gonna enjoy my manual of dodging now. Big find. Or, well, big acquisition. It's not really a find. I had already found it a while ago. Um, Now, this level has Skeletal Warriors, and we don't care about dealing with that for now. Maybe later. So we are not gonna be clearing that. Gargoyle does good damage, unfortunately. What is this? Buckler. We do not care about a Buckler. But I think that we are going to be going shields. This does seem like a pretty good character to go shields plus sword. I just need to find the top tier one-hander. D12 Jorgrun is a bit early in my opinion. Manual of Dodging is a very recommendable wreath. Yes, pretty good for surviving. If your goal is surviving in the dungeon, I would recommend reading a couple of those. As many as you can get your hands on. Jorgrun is gatekeeping me from the rest of the level, and so it shall be. I am not going to deal with that at the moment. No, I feel like I just lose versus Jorgrun. Hydra. Maybe I can choose not to fight it and. Oh, that's so bad. Melee Vant, and I got blinked into the Hydra. I might be in a really bad spot. If I get out of this, I should go back to Lure because, yeah, the dungeon is being kind of nasty. Okay, Mind Burst at least completely obliterates the melee. Ones have been really, really good and useful. Yeah, these Death Yaks. I would like to believe that I can now deal with them. Please. Maybe the level even has some loot for me. Please. 8 enchant armors. It's so funny. If this character is one good armor, like body armor, away from absolute glory. It's so close to glory in so many different ways. Um, but like the reality is that we are just not there, and we just have to struggle until we get there. It's not a matter of maybe the floor god chooses to be so benevolent as to provide me with the tools that I need to win the game. No, I already have those. It's just a matter of surviving until I can put them to use, and then I win the game. Getting marked again, pretty bad. Also, I was really, really far away from the stairs. So, yep, this is not good at all. Come on. Okay, I'm not even marked anymore. It would be a great time for the Windrake to push me away. Do you want to push me away? I guess not. Rough. What is this game. I mean, I guess that it is the average scroll experience, isn't it? But yeah, if this is the average scroll experience, I really do not like this game anymore. I guess that's what we can say. Oh man, I'm getting killed by the Windrake. Like straight up killed. The rat is. Oh, it got feared. Okay, can I go upstairs? One, two, three. Oh, I saw the Steam Dragon and that was messed up. But we're fine. We're fine because we had Steam scales. Yeah, I would like to have higher than 12 armor class, but I also don't want to enchant the Steam scales. Um, and nothing else that I have really is worthy of being enchanted. Man, this has been really rough. I don't think the Hydra woke up. Yeah, it must not be the case that the Hydra woke up because it's not chasing me. Pirate Box, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. That's Shoals, isn't it? Yeah, was guarded by the Manticore. Okay, I can maybe deal with one. I know I cannot deal with three. I can maybe tav one. That's a lot of money. I have no potions of flight. Okay, I'll come back later when I have some, because at least that is a decent amount of money. Maybe that's why this level was so messed up. Um, dig? I don't know if I could dig in there. Also, it's not like I immediately need the money. The dig charges are kind of valuable. I would rather just wait until I find a potion of flight, which is not as valuable as digging. Um, yeah, if I immediately needed to buy something, I would go for it, but it's not like getting those 200 gold pieces is gonna be enough. Well, it's more like 300, right? It's closer to 300. If I'm close to the manual and I find a good shield, and I can buy the manual by getting that money, I'll come back and get it. Even if I don't have flight, I'm gonna try to use digging. But until then, well, time to see how this goes. We are getting some evasion at least. We're now at 18 evasion, and that should make it more likely for me to survive certain encounters, like for example these death yaks. Um, we're running low on charges. At some point I had so many charges, and now it's not really the case anymore. But I mean they have gotten me this far into the game, so I guess it's fine. Okay. Rough. I knew that going downstairs into that was a bad idea. I still chose to do it. Blink. Yes, yes. When I told you earlier that Blink, the spell, was gonna be a big tool for certain situations, this is the kind of situation that I was referring to. Um, if I can make it to the choke point, we're fine. Yeah, with the choke point, I can kill them all because we have paralysis. Come on. There we go. There we go. It's not spammable anymore. We're at 16 paralysis. 16 paralysis, 3 mind burst, 1 acid. No explosion one. No ice blast. Blink. It is spammable. Like in order for it to be spammable, you need to have 100% power, and then it doesn't go on that much of a cooldown. I feel like the effects of the manual are very immediately tangible. Torpor snail. We don't want to have anything to do with a torpor snail. Hydra. Hydra. Mind burst is not gonna get the job done. Paralysis is not gonna get the job done. We have 1 acid. Flame is not gonna get the job done. That barely hurts the Hydra, I'm pretty sure. 2 dice of 9. Yeah, that is not gonna kill an Hydra. We have no weapons of flaming. Not a single weapon of flaming has generated in the whole game. More Hydras, because of course. The wolves probably woke up the Hydra. Yep. I do have a few brand weapons. I could maybe read brand weapon indeed. Try to brand one of the things into flaming, but I have 3. They're kind of valuable. I feel like I am going to regret it, but I also feel like I need it right now, you know? What a painful experience. I could try to hit the Hydra with 3 form unarmed combat, which doesn't deal 0 damage. Of course, it is not good damage, but at least it doesn't chop off Hydra heads, and it does give me good amounts of armor class. It nukes my evasion, which is kind of my strongest point. I could Circ 3 form, Angry 3. Now, I would like to be fighting in this spot instead of this spot, but I'm not gonna make it there without having the Hydra in melee, and melee Hydra means attacks of opportunity, and that means very swift death, so... You wonder if Spriggan and Druids have a funny interaction with 3 form. Would be funny if they had a funny interaction. Yeah, and then we Circ. Then we punch the Hydra. And the Hydra has died, and now we wield the weapon again. Okay, I think that 3 form has prevented me from taking a lot of damage in this situation. Because that's NetHack like. Like, what I suspect might happen is that the druid gives you a message if you're in 3 form. That could happen, and it would be an interaction, but it would also not be like a game altering interaction, which is the kind of thing that crawl developers tend to stay away from. That's 3 paralysis, that's 4 paralysis, okay. I didn't really want to tap that Sky Shark any other way. At least this character has min delay. it does have something going for it, and that's a min-delay electrocution weapon, which has been carrying me pretty hard. Evasion is getting pretty nice at this point. Yeah, 21 evasion. We're getting to the point where we can kind of rely on evasion to help me fight things. Like with my evasion, I can reasonably tap things and not just die. Or like fight them without needing to buff a lot. Yeah, of course that extended fights are still not ideal. The game is not cooperating. Can I please rest to full resources, game? Okay, I guess the answer is no unless I leave the level. And now I have to deal with the 5-headed Hydra. Don't hit me hard. Okay, only 8. We can deal with that. And the Hydra again. I don't have any more 3 potions. Blink Mistcast at 3%. I chose to do that because I figured that, like, I think that Flame Wand kiting this Hydra might be the way to go. How sad is that? Okay, that last blink was super good. Altar of Jiva. A being of your status worships no god? Man, I wish a being of my status could get a good armor. It's a lot of enemies. I sure love having access to Blink, the spell. It's such a powerful tool. Yep, quite a struggle, an hour and a half, and we are only in Lair 5, which reminds me that I wanted to start stream earlier, but I forgot. I was busy doing other things, and then I completely forgot that I actually wanted to stream earlier. Was that guy paralyzing enemies for me? Yeah, it places clouds of petrifying dust. Of course, since everything is chasing after me and it's not gonna stop shooting those clouds of petrifying dust, it's not like I can really take advantage of it. But at least it does make it so that less things chase after you, which I guess is kind of convenient, or has the potential to be kind of convenient. Still faster than you? Oof. The only like really strong character that we got, strong and easy character, was we can go to 13. Was the very first one that won under 3 hours. Other than that, it's been a struggle. Yeah, as you can see, these guys really like to spam that. Okay. The second gargoyle seemed comfy enough, but it took me like 14 hours. I don't think that that a character that takes me 14 hours is that strong. Yeah, I really do have a strong correlation between time taken to finish the game and character power level. I have had, as I said during that character, runs where I do extend it in 6 or 7 hours, and that character just straight up wasn't that. I'm probably gonna be using. Yeah, I really want to go shields. I don't want to use the greatsword. We got it early, and it would have been nice, maybe, but I don't really want to use it. Just as I don't want to fight that Hydra, but some things in life are not really avoidable. I wish I had more acid charges or ice blast. The ones that do deal with the Hydra in a comfortable enough way. Yeah, mine burst 87? No, 67. It worked. Flame to kill it? Okay, huge. Huge. Okay, I'll actually train this to 14, not 15. Okay, we found the loot, but unfortunately I cannot get to this Bogart. I have no way to damage it whatsoever. Yeah, it's just gonna keep summon spamming. This is Brigand Rider is real. Mm, it blinked away. Yeah, at least it blinked to a position where maybe I can hit it. Yeah, that could have spiraled out of control if it had summoned something nasty like Death Axe or Akatoble Pass. That's kind of huge. This is not a long blade, it's a rapier, but it is a pretty crazy powerful rapier. Um, we're probably gonna be using it for a bit because it is really strong. We found haste. We don't have that many, but yeah, okay. Phew. Yeah, that's the static discharge rapier, not a dagger, but yeah, this rapier falls into the short blades category. And it is a strong item. Really, really solid thing to have. Um, I won't say substantial upgrade because we want to use a two-hander, but I can get to the two-hand or like not a two-hander. We want to use a long blade. We can get to that using this weapon. It is good for Hydras. Yes, yes, that is a big thing for sure. We can finally tab Hydras with the Arc Blade because it is not gonna chop off Hydra heads. That is an unseen horror, and we're in the open. Spooky thing. Not that bad, but kind of annoying. Yeah, I guess 24 evasion is good um, for the purpose of not getting hosed by one of those. My manual of dodging already ran out, but it did get me to 24 evasion, which is huge. Right now we don't have any armor penalties. Wow, another brand weapon. As I was saying, right now we don't have any armor penalties. Eventually, when I wear heavier armor, we're gonna lose a little bit of evasion, but it should be fine. And I can kill the Hydra. Finally, I can tab it, but I am not at full, and I don't know if I want to tab an Hydra while I am not at full. Melee, we mind burst those immediately. Um, One of the best uses that I could give my wands. Like even with very limited charges, it is still worth it. I don't want to go down those stairs because I know I'm just gonna get hit by the Hydra, and then I wouldn't be fighting it at full either way. Um, Huge, massive. Oh, what an upgrade! What an upgrade! That D13 was a little bit of a struggle. Yeah, it is. It is massive because we kind of have the stats to not die to Hydras now. The evasion gain was a big deal. Uh, but but we had the issue that we were straight up unable to melee them. Now we can. Okay, 12 evocations. Do I get shield stat now? Yeah, I have decided that I am going to go shields on a one-hander. Even if no top tier one-hander comes in time, I'll win with Arcblade. That is something that we can do. But surely I'll just stumble across a top tier long blade. But yeah, now we can play the game kind of fast. Two scrolls of blinking big. Ah man, once you play like enough characters like this, you really learn to appreciate the small things in crawl life, like finding multiple scrolls of linking in a level. Yeah. So in the whole game, we have found four. I have had characters win with less scrolls than that. But I'm glad that I am not in that position today. Okay, paralysis on the knight. Goodbye, knight. These guys are scary. Or well, they were scary when they were mighty, but now that there's no knight, no need to fear them. This guy has an Elec longsword, but like even if I was still using the falchion, which I don't think I'm going back to that, I should drop it. Yeah, even if I was still using it, I don't think that longsword of electrocution is that much of an upgrade because it is slower. You would think that a bigger weapon is a better weapon all the time, but when it comes to Elec brand, it is a little bit counterintuitive, or at least that's how it feels to me. If you want to apply the brand more, you should use the faster weapon instead of the more damaging weapon. And since the damage of Elec doesn't scale with the weapon's base damage, you really get no benefit from having Elec on a big weapon. Um, Scariest part about this is that, yeah, I figured that it was acquirement. That those boots are real good. We also get to pick the manual of shields or a manual of ice magic. I think we have permafrost. We could go for that. I don't want to do it. Not another mage. Please no. I think that my tolerance for mages is low after that 14-hour gargoyle. which wasn't that painful when put into perspective. But yeah, I don't want to do another 14-hour character, please. Yeah, we do have permafrost. We also have fridge and permafrost. If it didn't make the game that much lengthier, I feel like it is the correct thing to do. I'm gonna try not to do it, however, dexterity. I might still put another level up into strength, but I think we can get away with not doing that for now, since we're wearing effectively rope. Some wands, that is neat. We want to buy them at some point when we can actually afford them. And I think that we want to make a decision on this acquirement. And I am leaning towards the boots. The boots are real good. I'm gonna need poison resistance anyway. I think we got spider. No, we got snake. Still, I'm gonna need the boots. Yeah, I feel like those boots are a massive upgrade, more than buying the manual of shields would be. Because now we get regen and we get poison resistance, two things that I didn't have. And yeah, I'm still like astonished at the fact that we have found two rings in the whole game, and one of those was a ring of wizardry, which I guess I could put on so I can cast blink consistently. Yeah, sure. There was a bolt on D12 or D11, was it? Yeah, this one with the Skeletal Warrior. I feel like I can finally do that. Especially if I get a staff. Well, whatever. Why do I get excited about this? It's a cool item, but it is not the kind of item for my character. This thing has a chance to insta-kill things. It may instantly slay those it strikes, especially weaker foes. I have had winning runs using this item, and I have used it in SOT, and it has insta-kill Orbs of Fire. And yes, it is every bit as satisfying as you would imagine, but it's not the kind of item for this character. It just isn't. 27 evasion. Now we have huge evasion, and it is going to get better. Why am I even training stealth? That was a mistake. I wanted to train shields. But I guess that those 8 points in stealth are not that much of a waste. Stealth has been a useful thing for this character. We can go do Orc. Finally complete Orc 2. Should carry it and inscribe it with, "If I only found you sooner." No, I don't think so. But it would be a different character, and it would be a pretty powerful character. But D11, like if I had killed that Skeletal Warrior on D11, I would have found it before Lure, and even then, I don't think that I would have made use of it. But yeah, like if it had generated in the floor early on, before experience level 12, most likely I would have thought about it. Can I paralyze you? 40. Oh boy, if I don't paralyze this warlord, I don't beat it. We have one net and 7 curare. Somehow we got a massive stack of curare, which is gonna be really useful. I'm gonna try to paralyze it. Hey, let's go. Sweet, and we get a highly damaging staff. That is a good amulet. We have evocations. Now I'm kind of regretting acquiring the boots, because acquiring money, like it looks like it would have been really good to acquire money, but it's fine. We still have that stack of 300 gold. I could go get that. and it does get me that amulet, and that amulet is okay. The 4 dexterity is definitely nice. The fire resistance will come into play, and this character is shaping up pretty good against all odds. This character is shaping up pretty good. When I first well, it has been a struggle. You have seen it. Not since the very beginning, but at some point it became a struggle. But I think that we are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and this time it is not a train coming in our way. How goes the tourney? It's been painful. Somehow I have done very well, even though I have had a large amount of pain while playing these characters. It's been supremely exhausting. Still not Dark Maul, but then again, nothing is. I cannot believe the Dark Maul. Like, next time I get Dark Maul, I'm gonna use it. Dark Maul Manifold Assault is so funny. You just one shot things, and you one shot most of the game with that. Um, do you think that can be done without RNG? What do you mean that? What is that? Dark Maul was one of your favorite runs ever to watch. How many wins? What is it, 4 or 5? I have not played a lot, but uh, um, well, I guess I have not played a lot of characters, but I have played a lot because the wins. I had one soft 3 hour one, and then it's been like 7 hours, 14 hours. I think I had 3 room one that took me like 8 or so. I don't know. You can see it in my tournament page. The wins that I have had. It's an exchange for finding no curare last time. Yeah, last time I found so little curare in the entirety of the run. Okay. We're done with the orc and lair. And now the time that everyone dreads the most, the crawl mid-game experience. But this time we have good evasion, decent armor class, when taking into account the evasion. We have shield stat, which normally I don't really have. Um, we have buckler plus amulet of reflection, which is nice. In fact, the amulet of reflection may make it far into this character. I might not take it off for that Randart that I was thinking of, because the 5 evasion is pretty neat, or like the 5 shield is pretty neat, and the reflection property as well. And we have good resistances somehow, because we have only found one relevant ring. Everything else that I have comes from gear, from actual armor and the weapon. It's really unlikely that something like that happens, but I mean, it's happened to me. That is a very positive thing about this character, and it is giving me a lot of hope for the future when it comes to this character. Having stealth, like, I'm not used to having stealth. You can tell because there's some situations where I see a monster that is asleep and I don't really know exactly how to handle the situation. Okay, these guys are deciding that they don't care about my 27 evasion. This guy has a kite shield. Can I paralyze it? 40? 40 on the mage. 24 on the warrior. Why does this guy have more willpower than this guy? I mean, I guess sometimes it is like that. Okay, this guy's ruining everything. At least it doesn't have a ranged attack. Run variety without RNG. You can. Um, as always, I point to Rift Wizard. Rift Wizard does that, and I feel like it does it very well. What a disastrous first fight here. I said last time the resistances matter a huge amount. Do you think this is enough, or would you need more to carry me through the mid game? I have resistance to electricity, which is very important. Or well, it's not very important because often you are forced to go through the mid game without that. But having it is like makes things so much easier. It doesn't completely neutralize monsters that hit you with electricity, but it does make them reasonable. Because I genuinely think that if you don't have it, the monsters that hit you with electricity are unreasonable. Like shouldn't be in the game levels of unreasonable. Thunderhooks, shock serpents, and spark wasps. All three of those are messed up without the resistance. With the resistance, they become okay. I might not get to them anyway. Look at this. This would be a great time to have that lightning rod. It only costs 520. So if I survive this, I'm getting out and I'm buying that. I should also think about buying the acid wand if I can afford it. This Naga Warrior is in a really, really bad spot. It has polearm, so this is what would happen if I try to disengage. One hit, two hit, three hit, and then I get to the stairs. But I have to survive 3 melee attacks from this thing, and I don't think that's gonna happen. Did I end up ever getting the potion of flight? I do have a potion of flight, so I'm gonna go back and get the money that we left behind. If I survive this anyway. Oh, let's go. Okay. Wait. I said that potions of flight were not gonna matter, and yeah, like as I suspected, there are stone walls here. Um, Stone walls or lava. Oh, the floor. Wait. So I can do it after all. I just need to hit the correct tiles. Okay. Okay. And now we have the money to buy the lightning rod. The lightning rod is gonna be useful. Quite a nice addition to the character. I'm gonna put it on the quiver. Um, we have 12 evocations. The lightning rod is gonna deal good damage to things. It's gonna let me kill things with shields with no pain whatsoever. Like that Naga warrior that we had issues with had a shield, in case you didn't notice, and I think that we had issues with it precisely because it had a shield and it just grabbed me and constricted me and removed my best stat. Um, Snake might be difficult because of that. Shock Serpent. Yes, I was just talking about you. Meet my Arcblade body. And as you can see, it dealt some damage, about 30. But it is not... Like, it's not negligible amounts of damage. But it is also not the kind of damage that I would be in the receiving end of without the resistance. I should maybe train Mindley Arcblade. Did I do that now? Yeah, sure. And then we can save the shields training for when I can buy the manual. Yeah, Mindley Arcblade, because it might be a weapon that I use long term. So I might as well have it at Mindley for as long as I can. Going into the mid game without a Mindley one-hander feels pretty strange too. So it feels like something that I shouldn't be doing. Oh, this guy has a tower shield. Yep. Monsters with shields definitely are going to be a problem, and this place is plagued with those. Fortunately, I managed to lower its HP a good amount before I had to use the lightning rod, because that way I don't need to use all the charges. It comes back sooner, and I can use it against the next monster with a tower shield or a large agglomeration of monsters. Please don't have a shield. Yeah, I'm a big fan of not having to worry about poison resistance, because I already have it. Getting those boots, yeah, substantial upgrade. Oh wait, all three upstairs lead to this place. Okay, I'm just going down. Yeah. Fortunately, it was not that much of a problem to go down. I'm going to kill these enemies. Just make a little bit of a safe spot in case I have to retreat from this level. Yeah. Um, these boots, man. I have been streaming for like 2 hours now. Yeah, it's been 2 hours. I am fried. Oh, delightful. Guardian Serpent doing Guardian Serpent things. This guy has a kite shield of reflection. I might want to wear that. You have one might. If I had more might, this would be the time to use it. How many? We have 15 digging. I think we can afford to make a kill hole. Yep. One of the greatest things that you can do when it comes to dealing with a Guardian Serpent is making it so that the Guardian Serpent can never surround you with things. I one-shot that Anaconda. I did straight up one-shot the Anaconda. Wow. How much HP do those have? Around 60. What an intense early game, don't you think? But yeah, as I already said, I think that we're beyond the worst. And now it's just a matter of me playing well, being aware of like what threatens this character the most. What threatens this character the most? Monsters with shields. No cold resistance, so I need to get that before bolts, because in bolts there's frost hearts, and frost hearts really hurt if you don't have that. And normally you do have that, because that's a pretty common thing to have, but this character has found no rings. Not even a ring shop. When it comes to shops, yeah, we have found some. But yep, no ring shop for me. I think I would like to buy the acid. It's not that the worst part of a game tends to be early game, or at least mid game instead of the end. When I feel like the end can also still kill you, but when you get to the end game, you already have all the tools at your disposal. And also, you not only do you have all the tools, you're also aware that you have them, and there's nothing else to save them for, so you just use them. And that's why the end game is easier than the mid game. In the mid game, you have situations that are really rough, but you also have to worry about the lack of consumables that you may or may not have for later, you know? Well, I'm not fighting Roxanne this time. This time I don't care about statue form. Manual of Fighting. Wow. Okay, please acquirement. I'm gonna get money most likely because that is yet another substantial upgrade in a long list of substantial upgrades that this character has received. Um, when it comes to crawl characters, this is obviously not the worst. Many years ago, when I was streaming in the morning, I had a Naga that was horrendous. It was so bad that Sindragor, who is one of the very few people who have won every combo at some point in the history of Crawl, was watching me, and he told me, if you can win that, you can streak infinitely. It's just a matter of patience and like attitude because at that point you have the skill if you can win that kind of character. And yeah, like I just don't have the patience to deal with that kind of thing in a frequent basis. It is really rough when you have a string of characters that are just abysmal. That's not good at all. The Mark Trap. I went around the corner and the Mark Trap was like immediately hit. There was very little counterplay. I'm gonna read tele. Okay, we land in a good spot. If I had more mutation, if I had like 8 plus, I would think about drinking some to see if we can get some extra power on this character, but with only 4, it is not the best thing to do. Even if malmutation is not really something to be that afraid of. Malmutation is kind of like the nethack equivalent of like a shark attack. It may happen, but it is so unlikely to happen that like I feel like the fear is overrated. Um, yeah, when it comes to resistance to mutation, which is kind of what I was thinking of when I mentioned that thing about the shark attack and mutation. I feel like old players are more likely to overvalue resistance to mutation because they started or they played the game when that was not as rare of a thing as it is now. Oh, oh, that's ring number 3 and it's a Randart. And it's a good Randart. Okay. All right. All right. That is double resistance to negative, and also 5 evasion. It is not like incredible ring, game changer, wins me the run, nothing like that, but it is definitely a nice thing to have when effectively the ring slot was empty. Um, yeah, please don't do that. Okay. I don't think that the I don't think that the static discharge effect gets affected by weakness, because I think it is you casting the spell whenever the weapon would trigger electricity, so that's a really nice thing to have for dealing with salamander tyrants at this point in the game. Um, 32 evasion courtesy of the ring that I got. You may not be aware of this, but evasion, unlike armor class, has diminishing returns. Monsters have a minimum chance to hit you. So at some point, evasion is just not gonna be that good anymore. We have a Ring of Slaying, which is of course very nice when we're using a short blade, but it is really expensive and it also gives me weakness to cold, so it's not very nice. On the other hand, we have a Ring of Cold Resistance. I'm gonna wishlist it. I might buy it. I might buy it by the time I have to do bolts. No lava, please. No lava, no lava, no lava. No lava, no lava. Somehow they have not hit me. Okay, there is the lava. Blink. I blink into what's maybe the worst spot. At least they don't constrict these ones. Armor class kinda has increasing returns. Yep. What I want is a choke point for these salamanders, but I don't think that's gonna happen. It definitely is looking like that's not gonna happen. Oh, I paralyzed a tyrant. I should probably take advantage of that. Okay, we get what were we even training? Short blades. We got min delay on the arc blade. That's what happened. I wish I had found more than like 4 charges of Mind Burst, or like not Mind Burst, Ice Blast. Ice Blast would be really good here. All of these salamanders are weak to cold, and so that would deal big damage. And not even the shop had it. I was looking forward to the shop. When I saw that it was a gadget shop, it was neat, but we have Mind Burst, Paralysis, and Acid. Acid 1 will be a nice pickup at some point. But there's so many things in my shop, in my shop list. So many things that it's gonna be great if I find 2 or 3 acquirements and I just get money that many times in a row. Normally, when it comes to acquirement, it can be pretty lame that you don't get anything, that you have to get money. But this time we are like the acquirement is guaranteed to be good, pretty much, just because my shops have been that good. If we get a caravan, we're probably not gonna have money for it, but it is fine. Yeah, I'd rather have good stuff to buy than the potential of good stuff to buy. This is Snake 4. I might go do a little bit of shoals, as has been tradition. So I didn't even comment on it, but Snake 2 had Bashnia, and we cannot really do that. Oh, finally I found enchant weapon. This was my last scroll. So there was never any chance to fully enchant something. If I want a top tier one-hander Longblade, I will have to get one from a Hell Knight or so. Don't do your thing. Don't do your thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, we're fine. This spot is better. I'm gonna. Should I be greedy and try to get to it? I guess this spot is also super nice. I'm gonna try to get to that one. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. It did it, but it's only one and it doesn't constrict, so it's fine. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, okay, we're good. Dexterity Demigod, yep. Big dexterity, big evasion, big shield stat, ideally at some point. I think what's really happening is that we need experience. All of the problems that we have come from the fact that Demigod gets -2 experience. So it's taking me forever to level up and have HP, and no HP means that I'm more fragile. And Arcblade, yep. Arcblade was a game changer for my character. Like, this was the kind of character where I was afraid to tab Hydras, but I got Arcblade and then Hydras stopped being a problem. Hoping for no distortion Merfolk this time. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I have never had something with distortion do that to me. In like my many thousands of hours, I think that at this point I must have like 3,700 hours of crawl. I have never had a monster banish me 3 times with melee distortion. Like before then, getting melee distortion banished at all has not happened to me that much. Maybe like low 2 digits amounts of times in all of my time playing Crawl, but that guy banished me 3 times in a row. Also, another setup for an alarm trap to ruin the day. Ah, that is where the rune is. Is it lined with stone, or can I ignore that? Yeah, okay, I can ignore a little bit of it. Why did I stop liking Crawl if I have so many hours? Because I have so many hours. That is pretty much the main factor. I feel like at some point my runs just felt pretty samey. Like I have to do the same thing to win. I know what I have to do. There's like no mystery. It's just a matter of, let's see if the RNG allows me to do it, pretty much. So yeah, I have said it multiple times. I think that Crawl is like a great game for your first 3,000 hours. And then, like, I mean, if you have played a game for 3,000 hours and then you grow to not want to play the game anymore, I think that at that point you can be pretty satisfied with your experience with the game, right? Like I do not regret spending this much time playing Crawl. If I did, I wouldn't be playing. I may not like it. I may not like the way that it does certain things because I feel like it's just poor execution compared to other options. And the worst part about that is that I know it will never change, um, but it is not so like distasteful and abhorrent to me as other games would be. Like, for example, you wouldn't see me playing NetHack. Maybe I would do it like once as like a donation goal or something. Um, but it's not like I would play June NetHack. In case you don't know, June NetHack is a tournament founded by my old NetHack buddies, and I played the first and the second June NetHack. I think I played the first one and I was pretty enthusiastic. But when it came to the second one, I was already out, and they asked me to play, and I didn't really play that much, or I enjoyed it that much. And ever since then, I haven't really felt like playing NetHack or playing June NetHack. It goes for the whole month of June. That's why it's called June NetHack. Um, and yeah, I don't think I could do that. It would be a mighty struggle to even finish a single run of June NetHack. Maybe it is something that I should try doing every year. Try to finish a run of NetHack. That Guardian Serpent did some Guardian Serpent things. Totally despicable Guardian Serpent things. The kind of things that make me think that Guardian Serpents should not be in the game. You cannot blink because you're locked down by a dimension anchor. That is a problem. Yep, that is a problem. You fast? You're not fast. Why? I hate this. Monsters that are slower than you should not get attacks of opportunity on you. That is such a bad mechanic. 0% chance to paralyze. Yeah, that has 4 pips of willpower. Of course, I cannot paralyze it. Slash M is a better choice, clearly. I think that Slash M takes the things that I'm not that much of a fan about NetHack and just exacerbates them. In general, NetHack forks just exacerbate the things that I don't think are good about NetHack. Um, to begin with, the game is longer, and I feel like NetHack is already way too long as it is. Crawl can have 3-hour runs, and I feel like Crawl is too long. I think that the correct amount of length for me is like around 2 hours, like Rift Wizard runs can take when you are skilled at the game, when you understand how to play the game and how to make builds. When you don't spend a bunch of time reading stuff, Rift Wizard runs can take 2 hours. That feels good, and I also have a like that kind of experience in crawl, but my crawl runs very rarely are that fast, like 3 hours levels of fast. Unless I play something super easy, like the troll yesterday took me. It was a troll yesterday, right? Anyway, whenever it was, but I think it was yesterday. That troll took me like 4 hours, but it was because I had a rough mid game, and then I found statue form, and then the character went pretty well after that. There were still some dangerous situations, but it went well, all things considered. But it still took me 4 hours, you know? It's 4 hours. It is way too long, 4 hours. You should have put the signifier for sarcasm. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should have figured it out myself because saying clearly slash m is the better option is such an outlandish uh, thing to read that it maybe was obvious that it was sarcastic. You think NetHack is interesting, but you suck at it. Slash M is even more interesting to you since you suck anyway. You can enjoy it more. Takes you more like 6 to 7 hours to finish a game, according to the game log, but more like 2 days of playing. Yeah, I am not a fan of pausing a character in the middle of a run. I have had some situations where I pause a character in the middle of a run only to come back and kill it instantly, like first fight, because I just forget how to handle the situation. I was so afraid of that happening every time with the gargoyle, but but there wasn't really no other way for me to play that character. Uh, After a while, you get tired too and start playing poorly. Exactly, exactly. That is my whole problem. The game lasts too long, so you play too long and play poorly, or you pause it and then forget what you are supposed to do with the character, and then you play poorly and die. Um, That is precisely my point. Um, the teleport landed me on the vault, and I guess that is okay. We have killed most of the guys here, so getting out should not be a problem at all. Okay. We got a rune. Um, so many scrolls of enchant armor. I have 8 and 1 in a shop, but I have no like good armor to enchant. For you, it's often not forgetting how to play, but not wanting to play well with the character. Save sits still for too long. I have like I can empathize with that. In my original account, I have a streak of like 10, and I don't want to play that account because that's my longest streak, and I feel like if I touch it, I'm just gonna lose the streak immediately. That happened like 3 years ago. Yeah, because I made the Nine Settler account early into the streaming journey. I guess we do shoals after all. Doing shows without cold resistance could be scary. Aquamancers, after all, have throw icicle, and that hurts. Okay, I'm just revealing more and more monsters. Oh no, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Okay, we're fine, we're fine. Didn't do it. Man, I don't like Guardian Serpents. Guardian Serpents have to be one of my least favorite monsters in this game. This monster is full of ridiculous monsters, and Guardian Serpents are very high on the list. Um, yeah, like the electrocution monsters pale in comparison to Guardian Serpents, and you know how much I despise the electrocution monsters in the mid game. Guardian Serpents, Ghost Mods, those are your most hated. Yep. Oh, we ran straight into Bosnia. Okay, at least we don't die. But yeah, we're not fighting that. I mean, I guess I should for tournament purposes, but if I am going to kill Bosnia for tournament purposes, it's gonna happen way later when killing Bosnia is free. And it is not free now, and it will not be free for a while. I just don't want to risk it. Although travel is not really cooperating, so I'm just doing manually. I might have to. Yeah, this huge wall I might have to use digging for. I think it's worth it. Saves me having to fight Bashnia's band. Maybe I could beat Bashnia 1v1 with might, but I don't think I beat Bashnia's band. Okay, Shoal's time it is. I have access to the Ring of Cold Resistance, but I want to find one off the floor. We just have too many things to buy from shops. I don't wanna spend that much money because it costs almost 400 to buy something that I do want to have. To be perfectly fair, only to find it immediately because it's like a really common item. Wow, okay, look at that. All of these are 504. Double slaying, but we're not gonna put on double slaying with this character, right? Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I would rather just keep my rings as they are right now. Maybe later if I find Another source of fire resistance. I could take off the ring of fire resistance. You also fear serpents and moths, but you don't want to say they shouldn't exist. Mods of or ghost mods are rough. They're rough. I feel like the threat that they pose is interesting in SOT and it's absolutely unfair in Spider. So maybe like remove them from Spider, keep them in SOT. That's what I would do. But Guardian Serpents, I do genuinely think that Guardian Serpents shouldn't exist because what they do is just too powerful. And the thing is that we have to take things into context. It is too powerful because of what the monsters that it surrounds you with do. What do? They constrict you, and so you're surrounded by monsters, and now you cannot walk away from them. And they hit really hard because the Naga warrior has might, I think, might other, and yeah, like that one is just too BS. I have had runs and do that with like, and it just feels like there's no counterplay when that kind of thing happens. That is my biggest problem. Basically, if you get blinked on and you don't have blink, you're in trouble. Yeah, like instantly in trouble, no matter how much HP you have, no matter how good your defenses are. It's just not cool. And the absolute worst part, that monster has many problems, but I think that the worst part about that monster is that you can see it, and it can blink monsters that you do not see into surrounding you. That is the absolute worst part. So if you see a Guardian Serpent, you know that bad things are about to happen. Um, Things that are like definitely unfair, not potentially unfair, no, definitely unfair. And that's why I think that monster shouldn't be in the game. But it's not gonna get removed. Um, Also, once again, let's put it in contrast with what an equivalent SOT monster can do, um, because Draconian Shifters can also do the same thing. But the thing about Draconian Shifters in SOT is that it is SOT, so you're more willing to use consumables to begin with, and also there's less monsters that constrict you there. So it is feasible to reposition if you get surrounded by a shifter, and it is not feasible to reposition if you get surrounded by a guardian serpent. And the crazy thing is that the thing that has more counterplay is the thing that happens later in the game. Um, it's just nonsensical to me. And it's not like it has more counterplay because you have more consumables. No, you can't straight up just do things for free later in the game that you cannot do earlier in the game. It should be the other way around. You've also had a longer time to build up consumables. Yes, that's why I say that ghost mods are kind of okay in SOT. Like, even if you're a mage, you like at that point surely you have some invisibility potions and mana potions or evocables, or at that point you may have already trained the weapon, things to do when you get ghost modded. But in Spider, it's like it's you don't have that unless you do it super late, and then you are forced to do the watery branch, which is between shoals and between shoals and swamps. So yeah, like they are definitely like game warping things. These monsters that I complain about. I don't just complain about because I don't like them because they killed me once. But as I have said multiple times already, the best thing to do is to, instead of like being in anguish at the fact that Crawl is not and will never be the game that I want it to be, I might as well play that game and yeah, Rift Wizard. I'll play some Rift Wizard after the tournament ends. Not immediately after the tournament ends, but when the tournament ends. Does shields still scale with dexterity or back to strength? I think it scales with dexterity. Let's see. Your shield would decrease by 9. Yeah, base shield rating 3. That is a lot of shield that I am getting from my 31 dexterity. Tooltip says strength. Strength reduces their penalties, but I think that the stat scales with dexterity. Yeah, these penalties are reduced by the wearer's shield, skill, and strength. Mastering shields eliminates penalties. Okay, Nets. I thought that for a second we were gonna get banished again by another distortion merfolk, but fortunately it might not happen. I wish I had a source of light, like a permanent source of light, because I'm getting caught in shallow water too much, and shallow water means that I'm gonna be just fumbling attacks left and right. I once got killed by this, and I added the force more on that, and it is pretty annoying, but it will certainly prevent me from dying. You'd like to bash Nia in Snake in one of your human parliamentalist attempts? Very nasty. Have you managed to win that? I have always said that human parliamentalist of Sif Muna is whack. Human parliamentalist in general is kind of whack, but if I had to do it, I would do it with Behumet. I would do the Railbird special, but with Behumet instead of Sif Muna. I don't like Sif Muna at all. Um, and definitely I don't like Sif Muna for a mage. And you may be thinking, well, if you don't like Sif Muna for a mage, what kind of character are you using Sif Muna on? I was a pioneer of the idea of using Sif Muna on invocations characters. And pretty much you ignore Sif Muna until you need to use Divine Exegesis. And then you do Divine Exegesis on whatever spell you happen to have found. Sif Muna will give you books because you will not be using Sif Muna Piety. So you will get a ton of books. And at some point you'll have a collection of level 9s to use with Divine Exegesis. I have had situations where I use Dragon's Call, Death's Door, thanks to Divine Exegesis, with like heavy armor and zero training ever of magic. It works well. If you have never tried Invocation Sif Muna, consider checking it out, giving it a try. Death's Door and Revivifications are good uses of Exegesis, yeah, or Shatter to cheat Firestorm, of course, like level 9s, Polar Vortex, all of that. You haven't won any human parliamentalists yet or other casters? Merfolk avatars are so annoying. General monsters that run away are super annoying. We have not really had it happen that much, but we are approaching the point of the game where having zero sources of willpower will start to become a relevant problem. Unfortunately, it is one that we cannot fix, and yeah, running around the mid game, especially bolts without willpower, is pretty spooky. And I don't think these guys get 5 willpower per level up. I think they get 4. Demigod says 4. Yeah, this would be a good time to get 5 willpower per level up, because no rings of willpower, no sources of willpower at all. I can buy an amulet. But I would rather save the money for the manual of shields or the manual of fighting. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Guardian Spirit, so I can channel mana back. Yes, that is something that you can do if you're going Sifmuna and you're not really bothering with spells. You can use Sifmuna channel as kind of ambrosia because Guardian Spirit will turn your mana into HP. That is indeed how it goes. Funnily enough, sometimes you could have a situation where you need the mana, however. But you're still a Sifmuna worshipper, so you can get mana back really quick, really easily, no problem. We just got a +9 longsword of speed, which is an interesting item. Would be a lot more interesting if I had slaying, but all the slaying that I have at my disposal is too expensive. First major pain of no willpower tends to be the bolt sentinels. Yes, wizards as well. I don't know what the specific wizard variation is that has banishment, but that one sphinxes as well have paralysis, so extremely dangerous, and we're running out of game to to find that. So I hope I find it in this level, or otherwise we're gonna have some trouble. I have said multiple times that willpower is the most important resistance. You can really win a game without resistances. It is going to be immensely painful of an experience, but it can be done. When it comes to not having willpower, on the other hand, yeah, that it's not that it cannot be done, but like the amount of monsters that can end your run or make it significantly less likely for you to win when you don't have willpower is just too big of a list. Whereas monsters that do the same if you don't have, like, let's say, fire, cold resistance, maybe even resistance to electricity, are much less. Um, and I don't like seeing all these monsters being asleep. Makes me nervous. Occultist, yeah, the occultist. Since the wizard split happened right before I took a break, I do not know about that. Wait, I have Wands of Flame. Why am I not using Wands of Flame versus Warren Nymphs? Follow my own advice and everything. Yesterday I said that it would be nice to have a Wand of Flame to use with Nymphs. And now I have it and I haven't been using it. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate it. Goes for the throw icicle misses. Before the wizard split, being banished at low experience level was so much more common. Yeah, and I guess that now less monsters have access to banishment. I think it's pretty funny that there's a Blasty wizard and a Banishy wizard. Arcanists instead of Banishers in the 11. Fortunately, I didn't see any this game. 45 damage, War Strike. Windrakes are really scary since they ignore my evasion. Earlier in the game, I had a situation with a couple of Windrakes, and they almost killed me because they don't care about my 34 evasion. They just hit me with airstrike. Something that you, the player, can also do. But unlike the Windrakes, your airstrike is not gonna deal that much damage. 2 dice of 7 to 23. 2 dice of 23. Oh, I got 2 charges of Ice Blast. I'll do it. Now I have 1 charge of Ice Blast, but it was worth it because I got rid of the Windrake. I'm so exhausted. If it was up to me and if the tournament didn't end tomorrow, I would just end stream after getting this rune. But I feel like I need to keep going. Anyway, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break after getting this rune. Step away for a couple of minutes. Stretch up, maybe that wakes me up. Yeah, Wand of Flame has been very valuable for dealing with water nymphs. I should have remembered. I don't even have to worry about dealing whatever minimal amounts of damage that could be dealing to me at this point in the game because I still am wearing Steam skills. If there's something that I would like to upgrade is my body armor. Like this character has been ready for storm skills, for even swamp skills would be nice. Yeah, even some skills I could enchant completely. Maybe even nicer skills, but I would have to wear a lot of fire resistance. Um, but I just haven't received any of that. Mara with the Demon Trident, no Demon Blade for me. I would love to not have to care about Mara, but I do these have they have Stunning Burst. I don't know how much noise that is. Hopefully not enough for Mara to wake up. Okay, that is a pretty bad situation. I'm gonna use Fogu because I'm surrounded by Javelineers. There's Javelineers here and there's Javelineers there. Come on. Why is this guy resisting that so much? It's a lot of merfolk. I was thinking Emo, but Emo might wake up Mara. That is a lot of merfolk. Though we lightning rod, how loud is it? Let's find out. It is pretty loud. It might have woken up Mara. Alright, but it did kill everything, so that is exactly what I needed it to do. Kill everything, still have a decent amount of HP, but unfortunately we still have a Javelineer. We can run away from this enough that I can close the door, maybe even go upstairs. Yeah, we're fine. You just got 100 60 to 100 of 160 to -8 in a single turn in your orb run. Your ant so stunned. How did that happen? The only thing you don't like about stealth is pressing wait at the edge of line of sight of a monster until it wakes up, and you have to pay attention after each press to make sure you don't give it free turns. Do you know about this button called shout? If you press T and then T again, you shout. Does it even tell you that you can shout? No, you can shout. You can. What are your other shout orders for allies? Blink bolt on top of you, chaos melee to sleep and killed you on the staff. That is rough. Man, that is so unlucky. Shout can wake up other monsters. Shout can wake up other monsters. It is going to wake up other monsters indeed. I guess you can attract monsters. Like you can use a potion of attraction. Oh, Polyphemus. I should play it safe with Polyphemus. Please don't hit me. Okay, we're fine. I'm gonna curare Polyphemus. Treat like I would treat a Juggernaut. Okay. You know, I have had this mechanical keyboard for about a year and a half now. Some of the switches don't make the clicky sound, and I think I like it better like that. If I ever get to upgrade my mechanical keyboard, I would get one that doesn't have the clicky sound. But anyway, even if that was to happen, as a consolation for those who like that, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. It's not like I need another keyboard. My mom is a big fan of the clicky sound of mechanical keyboards. She for like the first month or so, she always felt like I was writing something on a typewriter whenever I was using my mechanical keyboard. And she wants one. I've offered to give her this one, but she's not really felt like it for some reason. Just add keyboard sounds over the stream to appease them. They can probably load a 10-hour YouTube video where it's just like ASMR mechanical keyboard, no voice, just a person with mechanical keyboard in the background for 10 hours, and play that alongside my YouTube content or my stream, and then that will get the job done. Real solution is stones, but you so don't want to use stones. Sometimes the stones are the correct thing to do. Titan. Well, Titan, I have the resistance, so for once I am not afraid. We get the staff. The staff almost kills the Titan. What I am afraid of, however, is that the Titan is immune to electricity, because of course it is. So we're gonna have to tab it with effectively a +8 rapier, and it gets the job done. Sweet. Let's see what else, what other wonderful loot is here. We have a Ring of Poison resistance, but it's a bit too late for that. I am getting sleepy. Why am I getting sleepy? Maybe I should take advantage of that and actually just sleep and come back tomorrow and finish this and maybe start another one. Well, we got the rune. Um, I hope that the parts of the level that I have not explored don't have loot that I would be missing. Yep, just get the rune. At some point I have to come back and kill Mara, and at some point I have to go and kill Bashnia for tournament purposes. Yeah, I would be okay if I had started this earlier, like I originally was intending to. I used to stream at this time slot, 8 p.m. till midnight, and then at some point I changed it to 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. my time. I have to say that I like 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. a lot more. Mara will not become Maranara today. Nope, that will happen tomorrow most likely. Um, Bolts one. Time to face the horrors of Bolts one without resistance to cold or willpower. Yeah, that's gonna be rough. We are not quite there when it comes to the manual of shields. We're close, but we're not quite there. Yeah. Disappointing. I was hoping for a better shield because Snake does have a bunch of guys with shields, and often they get like really sweet shields, but it didn't happen this time. Well, now that we have gotten out of the crawl mid game, that is the Lure branches, hopefully bolts should go okay. Oh, that is a Frostheart. I should be really careful with that. Please don't. Okay, I have to avoid that. Important to avoid that. Uh-huh. Being surrounded by dire elephants at this HP is pretty worrisome. At least at some point recently I got regen, and yeah, regen is great for when you're in situations like these. When I started running away from these guys, I was at 70 something HP, and now I'm back to full. And yep, fighting these guys 2 versus 1 is definitely not ideal, but at least we beat them. You wonder why crawl humans are fans of ice and necromagic? Crawl humans are very varied. There's Hell Knights, which are fire mages. There are occultists and arcanists. Those two are humans. There's the uniques, of course. Lots of uniques that do a lot of different things. I feel like it is very evenly spread. Very simple thing, but it gives them personality. You know, I'm just realizing that in shows I didn't see that many harpies. I wish I had my defenses flipped around, you know? Instead of 17-35, I would like 35-17 a little bit more. With 35-17, I would feel a lot stronger than with 17-35. Wow, I got 3 stabs there. That was supremely convenient. Um, those stabs were pretty much given to me for free by the stealth training that I did when I wanted to train shields and I accidentally turned on stealth instead of shields. But like it's fine. Like I never get it, but it is pretty useful. Oh, that's a mighty boulder beetle. That is going to be a problem. Okay. Completely misses me. Fortunately, decided to not ignore my 35 evasion like Brom's would. Brom is such a nice spell. Next time I play a mage, I'm gonna play a mage that casts Brom because I really like that spell. Very large slime creature, mid Wand of Paralysis. You love to see it. Boulder Elementalist, yes, Boulder Elementalist. A spell has my so far it has my certified seal of approval. I have enjoyed the usage of Broms quite a bit. I realized that the warden was about to lock me in a little bit too late. Yeah, I should have just tried to make a run for the stairs before this happened. You have a shield. It's a tower shield. Do we get strength to broaden up the possibility of armor for this character? Because I could be using plate. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get 1 strength. Yeah, and then 21 and 24 are gonna go to dexterity, and we're not gonna get to 27. 24, 23 versus what was it? 1735. Yeah, I think we probably stick to 1735. Yeah, we're still waiting for some dragon armor. The moment I get dragon armor, like it is gonna go from 0 to fully enchanted in the blink of an eye. And I want Ice Dragon Scales. I think that those could maybe be the best. Ice Dragon Scales, and then I replace my amulet for the amulet that gives me fire resistance. Um, yeah, that could be nice. Oh, that Bolt Sentinel didn't mark me. That's so lucky. Yeah, we have to be terrified of monsters with hexes, but I haven't seen any yet. Ring of Mana does nothing. Some humans. Talking about humans, bold guards and bold wardens, and even convokers are mages, and they don't do any elemental magic. They're just like straight up support mages with might and the convoke spell. Our skills and get that ring with weakness to fire and 2 pips of resistance to negative, but I want cold resistance. That is the point. Also, ice skills are enchantable a little bit higher than fire skills. Oh yeah, I don't have cold resistance. Having a simulacrum as if I didn't have to fear a simulacrum, but unfortunately the lack of cold resistance does make me fear it. Oh no. I am in a dead end. For some reason I thought there was a door here. And that is going to be a problem. That is a white, very ugly thing. Oh no. Can I hex it? 58, please. That's a frost heart. Yeah, okay, we might need resistance or the tele. I'm gonna use tele. Okay. Can I get out? Maybe I don't need to get out. Okay. Of course, frost cards are significantly less scary if you are not hugging a wall whenever they do their thing. 56% chance to mark me. Yeah, of course it is terrible, but at least it is not banishment or paralysis. We will have to fear those in a little bit when we first see a Sphinx. And we're gonna be seeing Sphinxes because not only are they common here, well, not really common, but like they generate here, but they also almost always generate Guardian Crypt, and Crypt generates here, so we're probably gonna be seeing some Sphinxes. I hope that a Source of Willpower gets the job done. Because I do have potions of flight. I resisted the urge of using them in shoals precisely because I knew that I could get away with not using them, but I couldn't get away with not using them here. 56 is so bad. It is absolutely horrendous indeed. I said that I was gonna take a little break before, like after shoals, but I think that next plan is that I just finish bolts 1 through 4 and then I end stream because I don't wanna be exhausted and throw the character when like we have already overcome what felt like the worst part of the character, so maybe I am going to like I'm capable of just winning now. At least that's how it feels to me. I feel like I am now in control of my own destiny and I should be able to win. The ugly things are wildly worrisome to me because they're white ugly things. Please? Okay, let's go. Now let's see if I can tap one of those without the resistance. The answer is yes. Okay, very lucky. A cache of meat. Is this supposed to be like a fridge room? It kinda gives me that vibe. With the cache of meat and there were a lot of simulacra in there, so maybe it is supposed to be a freezer. Cold storage. Have I played any 0.32 McLeod? Yes, I did. Not bad at all. I like it. I do have to say that I miss a little bit being able to spam lesser destruction. Oh wow, this guy has ice blast. I should have come back and killed this guy a long time ago. Or did you steal that from me? No, you had it in your inventory. Okay, yeah, I should have killed it so much earlier. Yeah, being able to spam lesser destruction is what I was thinking of. Now you cannot do that anymore because it is too expensive. Um, on terms of HP, it also scales with max HP, which is really rough. It tries McLeving a few times, but keep dying in the early game. Have you tried a species with good invocations? If you have a species with good invocations and you train invocations and then do McLev things, it might be easier for you. Like Mountain Dwarf does have that +3 invocations. Did I get your Grun too? No. Can I kill your Grun now? I guess the answer is yes. So I'm gonna go kill your Grun immediately. Also, your Grun was protecting like part of this level, so okay, yeah. We can deal with that. No problem. I'm gonna get petrified by Jorgrun. Do I have silence? Wow, there was a ring of evasion here? Man. Man, I could have used that. 6 blinking, gained 3! I found a stack of 3 blinkings. That's more lucky than finding a stack of acquirements. I do have to say that this character could use a stack of acquirements. We found 3 blinkings. Now we have 6 blinkings. Oh man, that is so good. Human has +1 imbo. Yeah, +1 imbo is the average. But the Demon Spawn has +3 imbo. Mountain Dwarf as well. Formicid has +2, I think. You can play those. So what happens if we take off the Ring of Fire resistance? 41 evasion, 18 armor class. What happens if we also wear plate? There is a pressure plate. A trigger of some sort. You cannot tell what kind of trap it is attached to. It's complicated. Detection system will trigger the trap even when someone flies over it. Pressure plate armor? No, just pressure plate. It is a very, very, very rare kind of trap that can generate. You don't quite know what it does, but it does funny things. So 1841 or 2528. I have to say that 2528 is probably better, but I'm gonna roll with 1841 and then that will give me the right to complain when I get hit by like 100 damage crystal spear. Which yeah, it's gonna happen. Hand cannon of freezing. At some point, I was considering going for launchers because that manual shop also had a manual of ranged weapons. But considering how long it's taken me to buy all the things that I've wanted to buy, yeah, we wouldn't have been able to afford it. Ooh, Frostheart, and I'm stuck in a awkward spot for fighting it, hugging a bunch of walls. Fortunately, the blink was benevolent. Once I run out of the manual, I think we are gonna upgrade from Buckler to Kite Shield. Oh, Sphinx. 34% chance to destroy me. Yeah, 34% with any of its 3 spells. I'm gonna drink Willpower Potion. 44. With Willpower Potion, it has 9% chance to hex me. Shtawa. I went back to D12 and didn't find Jorgrun, right? I think that I already have Jorgrun for the tournament. Shtawa could drop fire skills, which would not really be that desirable, to be perfectly fair. But if I'm gonna be fighting Shtawa, I need to put on fire resistance because that's 3 dice of 40. We don't really want to get hit by 3 dice of 40 fire breath. Do I have Circ? No Circ anymore. I do have Might. Shtawa does not resist electricity. Pretty much same resistances as a normal fire dragon, except that Shtawa has a lot more HP. Shtawa always speaks in all caps, which is pretty funny. I forgot that Shtawa can do that. Am I dead? Yes, yes, the answer is yes. Was that a full HP to 0 death? I really forgot that Shtawa can do that. It's not really the kind of unique that I see very often. And normally when I see Shtawa, I have willpower. Oh, well. You remember when I said something about exhaustion and like making mistakes? Well, that happened. Um, I'll come back tomorrow.